Let's continue reading scripture. Genesis 33. Jacob meets Esau. Then Jacob glanced up and saw, behold, there was Esau coming, and 400 men with him. So he divided the children among Leah, Rachel, and the 2 female servants. Oh, he's dividing the children also. For those people who need to be caught up, this is him meeting his brother who vowed to kill him, Esau, because Jacob got the blessing that Isaac, their father, wanted to give to Esau. He put the female servants and their children first, then Leah and her children behind them, then Rachel and Joseph behind them. But he himself passed on ahead of them and bowed to the ground 7 times until he came near to his brother. But Esau ran to meet him, hugged him, fell on his neck and kissed him, and they wept. Whoa! I do not remember this happening. His eyes glanced up, and he saw the women and the children, and said, "Who are these with you?" "The children whom God has graciously given your servant," he said. Then the female servants approached, they and their children, and bowed down. Leah also approached along with her children, and they bowed down. And finally Joseph and Rachel approached and bowed down. "What do you mean by this whole caravan that I've met?" So he said, "To find favor in your eyes, my lord." But Esau said, "I have plenty, O my brother, do keep all that belongs to you." Yet Jacob said, "No, please, if I have found favor in your eyes, then you will take my offering from my hand. For this is the reason I've seen your face. It is like seeing the face of God, and you've accepted me. Please take my blessing that was brought to you, because God has been gracious to me, and because I have everything." So he kept urging him until he accepted. Okay. I would have wanted to know, like, what changed. Why is Esau happy to see his brother, right? The last we heard of him, he was quite mad, quite angry. It seems like he has been blessed as well with, his men, 400 men strong. Then he said, "Let's journey and be on our way, and I'll go ahead of you." He continued, "My Lord knows that the children are tender, and that the flocks and the cattle in my care are nursing. So if they were pushed hard just one day, all the flocks would die. Please let my Lord pass on ahead of your servant, and I'll move on further gradually, at a pace suited to the livestock that are before me, and at a pace suited to the children, until I come to my Lord in Seir." Then Esau said, "Please, let me leave with you some of the people who are with me." But he said, "What's this? Let me find favor in my Lord's eyes." What? Is Jacob, looking for his own army? So on that day Esau returned on his way to Seir. But Jacob journeyed to Sukkot and built a house for himself, and for his livestock he made booths. That is the reason that place is called Sukkot. Sukkor, that's the word that comes to my mind. Is it rooted from that word, Sukkot? Sukkor. Is that a real word? I don't know. So Jacob arrived in Shalom to the city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan. When he came from Paddan Aram and camped right in front of the city, he purchased a portion of the field there, where he had pitched his tent from the sons of Hamor, Shechem's father, for 100 pieces of money. There he set up an altar, and he called it El is Israel's God. Man, they made up. But there has to be some kind of falling off that happens later, because I distinctly remember that God despised Esau. But was that because he denied his birthright, his God's promise for the soup? Maybe. I don't know, that was a short chapter. Might as well read the next one. Genesis 34. Dinah defiled by Shem. Now Dinah, Leah's daughter, whom she bore for Jacob, went out to look at the daughters of the land. Canaan is the horrible place though, right? Full of idol worship and things. When Shechem, the son of Hamor the Hivite, the prince of the land, saw her, he took her and lay with her and raped her. But his soul clung to Dinah, Jacob's daughter, and he loved the young woman and spoke reassuringly to the young woman. So Shem said to his father Hamor, saying, "Get me this girl for a wife." Now Jacob had heard that he had defiled his daughter Dinah while his sons were with his livestock in the field, so Jacob kept quiet until they came in. Is Jacob gonna do some kind of avenging here? Jacob's sons had already come in from the field when they heard, and the men were deeply grieved and furious because he had committed a vile deed in Israel by lying with Jacob's daughter, which ought never to be done. Yeah, because these are the idol worshippers, like that is the real issue here. And of course the violence and things like that, but I don't get it, man. There's so much drama in scripture about the land, right? And trying to build a home someplace. I'm so happy that Christ is our foundation and we don't have to look at things like this. Like trying to find a place, like literally find a place. In what dirt do I pitch up my tent? And this is the important part that I struggle with in my life. I'm glad that it is something spiritual that we confront instead. That just seems so much more meaningful than the external. But that would have been a big issue, thousands of years ago, right? But Hamor spoke with them saying, what does that name even mean? Who is this rapist? My son Shem was the rapist, Hamor is the father. He's very attached to your daughter, please give her to him for a wife. Intermarry with us, you can give your daughters to us and you can take our daughters for yourselves. You can live with us and the land will be open to you. Live in it, move about freely in it and settle down in it. There's so much in scripture that's against, that point out that there's a problem with the daughters, the women, the wives, their idol worshipping ways. And here is a spiritually ignorant person thinking that he can just trade these women as if they're the same quality. Some pagan women who are doing who knows what, practicing what, we don't know. Those religions have died away because they were so scum, right? And he thinks he can just, trade these women around as if there's nothing precious about women, something invisible, something spiritual, something that is precious before God. It doesn't matter at all, it's just a numbers game to this guy. Ew, it's actually kind of disgusting. And I'm looking at it from a logical perspective. Of course, this is all kinds of issues with this, but still, a lot of those things don't need to be said. Shechem also said to her father and to her brothers, would that I find favor in your eyes, whatever you say to me I'll give. Set the dowry and the presents as high as you like, and I'll give whatever you say to me, but give me the young woman as a wife. Yeah, some things are a bit more precious. This guy is asking for his rape victim, looking to pay the price. What kind of a father would do this? Let's see if Jacob does it. I doubt it. But Jacob's sons answered Shem and his father Hamor deceitfully as they spoke. Yeah, makes sense. They are the clever bunch. Because he had defiled their sister Dinah. They said to them, we can't do this thing. Give our sister to a man who is uncircumcised, for this is a disgrace to us. So this is how they communicated this rejection. Only by this will we consent to you. If you become like us by circumcising every male, then we'll give you our daughters and take your daughters for ourselves and live with you and become one people. But if you don't listen to us and be circumcised, we'll take our daughter and leave. I think they know that they're not going to do it, right? Now their words deemed good to Hamor as well as Hamor's son Shem. So the young man did not hesitate to do it, since he delighted in Jacob's daughter. Oh, really? Now he was honored above everyone else in his father's house. So Hamor and his son Shem came into the gate of their city and spoke to the men of their city, saying, these men are enjoying a peaceful relationship with us, and they are living in the land and moving about freely in it. As for the land, look, it's spread out on both sides before us. We can take their daughters to be our wives, and we can give our daughters to them. But by this did these men consent to us, to live with us and to become one people, when all our males are circumcised as they are circumcised. Their livestock and their possessions, won't they be ours? Only let us consent to them so that they live with us. Now everyone who went out of the gate of his city listened to Hamor and to his son Shem, and every male was circumcised, everyone who went out the gate of his city. Then on the third day, while they were in pain, two of Jacob's sons, Simon and Levi, Dinah's brothers, each took his sword and came against the city undisturbed and killed every male. Okay, so here is the avenging part. I'm not even mad here. Hamor and his son Shem they killed with the sword. They took Dinah from Shem's house and left. Jacob's sons came upon the slain and plundered the city because they defiled their sister. They took their flocks, their cattle and their donkeys, those that were in the city as well as those that were in the field. All their wealth, their little children and their wives they captured and plundered, as well as everything that was in their houses. But Jacob said to Simon and Levi, "You brought trouble on me, making them a stench among the inhabitants of the land, making me a stench among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites. I am but a few men. They'll gather against me and strike me, then I'll be destroyed, my household and I." But they said, "Should he treat our sister like a prostitute?" That was Genesis 34. And no, they should not treat her sister like a prostitute. There's gonna be trouble now, right? And that's what Jacob was looking at. We'll continue next time. God bless you guys. Thanks for watching these Bible readings. I think they're really interesting. When you involve yourself, your own spirit, like what would you do? And things like that.